Mary Lou Williams' musical career began professionally at age 6, but as we discovered, she actually began playing at the age of 2. When we spoke with Mary Lou, she began by telling us how she happened to get such an early start.
It seems that I used to get in a great mess around in the house when my mother was practicing, so what she did really was to put me on her lap while she was playing. She played an old-fashioned organ, so she said one day while she was pumping the organ, my fingers beat her fingers to the keyboard and began playing. And it must have been great because she ran out and got the neighbors to listen to it. And she would not get me a teacher or anyone to teach me. She had professional musicians to come in and play every night for me or every day or something. And you see, jazz is such a great art. It cannot be taught out of books. And the best way to learn how to play jazz is through a playing musician. So my education came through the Andy Kirk band I was with for 10 years. You know, they taught me everything that I know, how to arrange and everything. It's been like that with me all my life. I was professional at 6 years old. The union band used to take me out. Men used to hold me on their laps to play. And it seems that they took an interest in me and took me along with them and taught me everything that I know. And I've been professional for years, you know. And at 12 years old, I was traveling everywhere, you know.
For several years, you left the jazz scene to concentrate on another very important aspect of your life. Can you tell us why you gave up playing professionally for that time?
I think it was just a period, turning point in my life. I really don't know. I've been asked that a million times, and I don't know. I just think I stopped on my own. I began praying in Paris. A musician took me to his grandmother's house, and I prayed at least 11 months before I came back to America. I canceled all my work and everything, and I began praying for at least 10 years straight. Off and on, Dizzy Gillespie, such a wonderful guy. He'd call me to go out on gigs with him, and I'd go back in the house and pray again, you know. He said,
and I also know that you were conducting at the time that you were not playing in public. You were working in a church in New York, I believe it was, and you would invite musicians down to play with you in the church. And some of the people that Bud Powell came and Thelonious Monk.
Right. I'd take them to church with me. I took Monk. The first time I took Monk, he was frightened. He thought he was going to die. He said nobody ever asked him to go to church before. He slipped and fell as we were going in. It was really frightening. I took Bud Powell and several musicians, Dizzy Gillespie, to church with me.
Mary Lou, we know you have very strong feelings about jazz as an art form. What do you feel is happening in the jazz music scene today?
Well, it's a great thing to be talking about jazz because it's very important that we bring it back. You know, Father Peter O'Brien, who travels with me, brought me out 6 years ago and to save jazz. And so we opened a club there, the Cookery, and we were there off and on for 6 years, and it's being played quite a bit in New York. And nobody realizes that it's a great art. It's the only true art in the world because it came out of the suffering of the first early black slaves, and it's all American. It has nothing to do with Africa or Latin American music, and there's 4 eras of it. The spiritual, ragtime, Kansas City swing, and bop, and then the creators, we have no more creators. Jazz is the thing that feeds love and is healing to the soul. And this other music puts you in a block. Now, like I have a drummer with me, I'm so happy Roy Haynes is with me because he's jazz and everything. See, and he plays with such a wonderful feeling. It takes me at least 6 months to teach a professional man now to play jazz. It's very stiff playing rock and free music. I think people would be much more calm than what they are now if they heard jazz. The other music makes you nervous. I tell you what happened. When I first came out 6 years ago, I was in Canada, and the disc jockey refused to play a jazz record of mine. So I said, just play a jazz record, it'll stop the war. And the peace treaty was signed that Saturday after he played the record. And then I got him on to jazz again. Well, listen, really, that was a coincidence, but it is really that strong.
Composer, arranger, and pianist Mary Lou Williams.